Good morning, Delaware. We're happy to be here on this beautiful Friday morning. I think I cursed it a little bit last week when I said that I think we're in official spring, and then it went down to like 30 over the weekend.
I think I freaked out when you did that.
Yep.
I think I did.
That's okay, because now we're appreciative of what we have.
We are.
Maybe that was what I was doing all along.
You know what? I'm going to believe that, Nicole.
Thank you.
Me and my short sleeves today, which makes me nervous. In Alliance, we had to run by one day and buy me new long sleeves because I was not going to make it.
No.
It's the type of weather where you just always have to have a sweater with you.
Yes.
Even if it says it's going to be like 80 degrees.
Plan on layers just
and a
in
space
case.
heater in your office, and like extra warm, then a blanket, and maybe one of those microwavable, snuggy, warmy type stuffed animals.
Oh yeah, those are nice.
Yeah.
I need a few of those things to survive.
Well, of course, that's my co-host Molly Meyers LaBadie on the mic over there, talking about Trolls and Alliance and all the wonderful things that she does with her weekends.
So many weird things out there in this world. So little time.
And then our guest this morning is Kiana Hardy-Butler, who is our Assistant Branch Manager of Adult Services at the Orange Branch Library. So good morning, Kiana.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
We're excited to talk about all things Orange Branch this morning. You've got a lot of really fun events coming up this spring, and one in particular that we will get to in the second half of the show. So yes, but we're excited to have you representing our adult services and adult programming at Orange Branch this morning.
Yeah, and you know what? We have a lot of programs coming up, even just in the spring at the end of May.
Right.
And we also have summer programs, which we haven't started promoting yet fully, but we have a lot to offer, and so I'm excited to talk about it.
You certainly do. And we're just around the corner from your branch. So if you are listening and you're in the Lewis Center area, it's just a quick drive up 23. You'll see our beautiful branch right there on the, the west side of 23.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Yeah.
And I have to say, weather at the Orange Branch, like when I get to do my office hours there, I like to be in a room with a window so I can watch. I've now seen snow, sunshine, and hail. I was there for the hailstorm.
The hailstorm the other day was horrible.
It was
like almost the worst I've ever seen.
You can hear it in that
loud,
building.
yeah.
But I also enjoy hearing it in that building. How often can you hear nature?
Well, it's good when you're inside the building.
Yes.
When you're commuting like I was, it's a totally different story.
Totally different experience.
Yes.
I don't know. When you say how often can you hear nature, I'm like every morning at 4 a.m., the robins outside my window who think that the sun is rising and is not. But it's fine. Nature's fine. Let's talk about books.
Nature's fine.
Nature's fine. Let's go to books. So, Molly, what have you been reading lately?
I've read a real fun book called How to Solve Your Own Murder. This is by
It was murder last week, too, wasn't it?
I love murder.
Okay.
Good old murder. Okay, so the real truth is I'm reading these in between trying to finish Don Quixote.
Oh, wow.
I have no idea what's happening in Don Quixote. I'm not sure what my review is going to be like because I'm lost.
Here we go.
Isn't that a classic?
It is, and I'm not giving up on it yet.
I know the only thing I know about that is that like Adam Driver did like a adaptation of it like a few years ago.
That's probably all you need to know.
Yes.
I'm really thinking of breaking down and like watching a movie to figure out what I'm missing because I'm missing something. So, but no, in between it, I'm doing some good cozy mysteries, which we all know I love a good body dropping. And How to Solve Your Own Murder. It's the first of the Castle Knoll files, and this is fantastic. A girl who has been separated from her very wealthy great aunt for years gets called because her aunt has a secret to share with them all. Well, her aunt foretold her own death. Well, I believe a fortune teller told her death 60 years before. She's known her whole life she would be murdered.
Whoa.
So she has been trying to solve her own murder the whole time and leaving clues everywhere. This great niece is a mystery writer. So she has that nice inclination to look where no one looks, to read what no one reads, to find out what's going to be happening next. Well, as this goes on, the characters, this is definitely one where those characters you think you know, you maybe don't know. The murder, you think you understand how it happened. You don't know how that thing happened. And the whole book is an absolutely fun ride. Of course, I did it on audio like most of my books. I think this one would be fun to read. There's a lot going on. So if my mom was reading it, I would tell her definitely have your notepad because she likes to keep lists of characters. I did have to stay pretty focused in this one, which cozy mysteries, I don't always have to stay that focused. But this one I did, especially in the beginning, get to know who those characters are because they're going to play throughout. And it's got a nice hint of romance, but nothing too salacious. So this is a nice read pretty much across the board.
There we go.
Absolutely loved it. Can't wait to read the next in the Castle Knoll Files. So How to Solve Your Own Murder by Kristen Perrin.
This one has lots of availability too. So, and sometimes that's hard if you want to start a series.
Absolutely.
Getting that number one book in the series. I'm just looking it up. There's 90 copies available, 90 copies that we have, and 47 are available.
And there are 3 books so far in the series. I've got 2 and 3 already on hold. So you'll see me on the list or checked out. I'm not really sure where I'm at that point. Don Quixote keeps popping in with something with windmills again. So
That sounds like a good recommendation. It's not as murder cozy, but it sounds like it's a little bit of a different.
It's very much a thoughtful. It's if you like to try to solve and you like the little clues coming in as you go, this is a real good one to try to solve. Unfortunately, there is no cat, which we know I tend to like a cat in my cozy murders, but I'll take it.
Like the cozy like bookshop murders.
Oh yes,
or the ones like that have like food as a theme.
I love, and then recipes in the back of the book.
Yes.
And if you give me a recipe and a knitting pattern, you're my new best friend.
Yeah.
Oh.
Who doesn't love a little cooking with their murder?
Right.
Kiana, what about you? What's your kind of style of genre? What's something you've been reading?
I have not read much lately, but I usually tend to like historical nonfiction.
Okay.
Yeah.
I tend to like a lot of like American historical nonfiction.
Yeah.
And a lot of them tend to be like still like fiction-esque in like the narrative,
Sure.
where it's very like plot like heavy, and it still talks about like how like these people back in time like thought, and I don't know how historians actually do that.
Right.
But they
Yes.
do
Yeah.
somehow, and I don't know how they get their research, because I'm like, there's only so much available about this person, but they still are able to do it. And I know it's not a very popular genre, but
but
my
it can
undergrad
be
was in
good.
history, and I
Yeah.
absolutely love it. I have been reading The Quarter Queen by Kayla Hardy,
Okay.
which is, you know, a relative, but I need to actually finish it because I swore I would. It was just released a few weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
And it's great.
Yes.
It's about, you know, a witch, and it covers Marie Laveau. And so she's a historical figure back in the 1800s. She was a real person, and she was thought of as a witch back then. She was a free woman in Louisiana, in New Orleans. But there's not much known about her. So the book actually expands on that. It makes it more fantastical too. There's actual like alchemy and like magic and everything.
Love it.
So it's really cool. And I'm enjoying it so far. Like I said, I should have finished it, but by
You're
now.
Savoring it.
Yes, I'm
You're
savoring it. Although the person I'm like telling, like they're like urging me to finish it. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. I'm a slow reader, so I didn't used to be, but I am now. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I'm enjoying it so
You know,
far.
some of my favorites are those historical of women that people thought were witches. They are
Yeah.
absolutely wonderful women, is what I have found out.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. And it's really interesting. And I think there's a lot of books coming out now about like, you know, voodoo and different forms of magic, like alchemy. And I do like it, you know, like the genre, just like the general like romanticy genre and the general fantasy genre is really expanding past what we are used to seeing.
You know, and I wonder, the foraging movement is really coming back. And I wonder how much of that, because so much of what made you a witch back in the day is that you understood
Nature.
the nature and how nature was actually healing.
Yeah.
I follow somebody called the Black Forager, who, she is amazing if
She is
nobody's
wonderful.
watched her Facebook. And she really talks like, her favorite thing is, will this kill you or is it a snack? And I'm always like, it's a snack?
And in the end, she says, happy snacking, don't
Yes,
die.
I love her so much. But it just makes me think, you know, it's something we lost to society, but I feel like it's coming back in such a beautiful way. But so many women who just really understood nature and what it could do for us.
Yes.
They were witches.
Yeah, and a lot of times they were like the crux of like their society. Like a lot of times they
Yes.
were midwives, and they helped, you know, people who couldn't afford like an actual doctor. Like back, especially back then, it was really like rich people that could do that.
And I'm not sure that you weren't safer with a midwife back then than you ever would have been with a doctor.
Exactly, I agree.
President Garfield did not die of a bullet wound.
No,
he
ma'am.
died of people sticking their fingers the dirty fingers
Sure
in
did.
there.
Yes. Ugh.
I think about that a lot.
Me too.
It occupies more space in my brain than I'd like it to.
Oh, goodness.
That sounds really good. That is called, again, The Quarter Queen by Kayla Hardy. I have a board game with me this morning.
Really?
And this is so fun.
What is that?
It is a board game. It is called Wavelength, and it is a social guessing game. And I was, had a nice afternoon one day with my girls at the library, and they were checking out all sorts of different things. And, my youngest was picking up her Babysitter's Club graphic novels, and my oldest was picking up just the next book that she's excited to read, which I think is literally called What's His Name? And then as we were passing by the board games, she said, "Oh my gosh, Wavelength! We play that at my school. Can we take it home and play it?" And I said, "Absolutely." So we took it home. She taught me how to play. It's very fun. You basically have cards in here that have two extremes. So let me open it up. I should have prepped this before I started talking.
And while you're opening it, if you don't know about the fact that we check out board games at the Delaware County District Library, we 100% do. So this is something you can just pop in and check out.
You absolutely can. Okay, so you draw a card, and the card has two extremes, talented and untalented. Let's say that's the example. Okay, and then you have a little dial, and the dial is the only thing that you can see. And so you kind of like spin it around. Here's the sound effect. Here's your ASMR for the day. So you spin the dial, and then you open it up, and it tells you based on your card what clue you have to give to get people to guess where there is a kind of like barometer meter on the dial for, so like the most talented person you can think of. Let's go with like Aretha Franklin, okay? And then the most untalented person you can think of. Let's go with the guy who sings She Bangs from American Idol. Okay. All right. So those are your two extremes. Okay. But my number is a little bit more on the She Bangs side. Okay.
But not all the way to She Bangs.
She Bangs. So you, as the clue giver, have to think of something that's nearish that, and then you have to give a proper clue. And then what the other side, so you see where you want people to land, and where the other people go is you go ahead and you close the little barometer, and then they say, okay, well, based on your clue, I think we're about here, right in the middle.
My
and then
clue
you
would be William Shatner for this one. Just for it'd be William Shatner.
Untalented.
Singing. Have you heard his album?
Well, it doesn't have to be related to singing, though. Just my example was
I know,
singing. Yeah.
But singing.
And so then you open it up and you reveal the barometer, and then you see how close you got it or didn't get it. So much fun. Great family discussions. Of course, I played it with my 7-year-old, 11-year-old, and undescript husband-year-old. And it's generationally, like, what does it mean to your generation? How do you define it? It's a little bit like apples to apples, where you also kind of have to know who's giving the clue and
apples to apples.
How do they perceive how you'll answer. And the cool thing is I was recently on a trip, and there is a digital version of this. So you can, if you want to play the digital version, you can download it from your phone's or your tablet's app store, and you can play it socially with your friends that way. I think there's a fee to do that. But if you don't want the fee and you do want to have a fun game night, you can come and check out Wavelength from the library. I'm going to turn it back in right now, and you're going to have a super fun time with it.
It's actually really cute,
so cool.
too.
Yeah, it's got like a 70s kind of vibe, theme to it.
Mid-century, awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So come check out Wavelength. Check out any of the board games in our collection. I promise you will be entertained, and it'll make for a great family night, especially given that today is Friday, and you've got time this weekend to spend with your family, hopefully.
Yes.
So with that, we're going to take a break. We'll be back on the other side with Kiana Hardy-Butler to talk about all of the fun programs happening at the Orange Branch Library. So stay tuned. We have got a fun second half of the show for you. Again, Kiana Hardy-Butler is here. She is the assistant branch manager who oversees adult services at the Orange Branch Library. And I was just looking through the Orange Branch's programming through the end of this spring. And you guys have so many fun things coming up.
We do.
Even starting this Monday, planning your next trip with AAA.
Yes.
Like, tell us about what some of these programs are and some of the fun things that you've got coming up and what you expect from them.
You know,
Yes.
I love a good trip.
Right?
Yes. And so we try to have like programs that like are all a little bit different from each other, but still fun, some crafty, some like related to life skills. But the ones coming up are really like recreational and informational as well. So the planning your next trip with AAA, a travel agent will be here and they'll talk about different destinations you can go to. So it can be local or international.
Like Alliance, Ohio?
Alliance, Ohio.
Yeah, I guess.
Sure.
Yes. So yes, if someone said in the audience, "Hey, I want to go to Alliance, Ohio," then the travel agent would be like, "Okay, I'll take you to the Troll Museum." Yes, that's a good highlight you can go to. So they'll talk about different locations. They'll talk about what can work with different type of budgets.
Yeah.
So that'll
that's
be
great.
good for everyone. They'll also talk about like safety rules that you kind of need to follow or just to keep in mind when you're traveling.
Maybe some hot travel tips too, like making sure you've got that compliant identification, making sure your passport has plenty of time in case you haven't got that prepared yet.
Exactly. And also how to stay organized. Also, like he said, even a little bit, he'll talk about like how you can pack your things.
Oh, wow.
I need that.
Yes. And I need it too.
I can pack to go, but coming back, I'm always like, oh, these things don't look the same size they were when I put them in.
No, and I know there's some people that really know how to pack really well, so everything stays like straight and nice, and I'm just not that person.
No.
So if you want to be that person, then you can come to this program.
You be that person. That one is happening Monday, April 27th. So right around the corner, 6 o'clock at the Orange Branch. We do ask that you register for it just because the room where it's going to be in, it can be a little tight. So just make sure you've got your seat saved whenever you go to that. And then this one I'm really excited about, Library Jeopardy. Tell me about Library Jeopardy, especially it's America 250 themed.
Yes,
so
it is.
what are we getting into?
So it's going to talk about arts, culture, and just different popular culture related to 250. So historical figures and things like that. Also, the winner will get a prize. There can be more than one winner, by the way.
There we go.
Yes, it's going to be led by our specialists, Mackenzie and Kate.
Oh, I love them.
Yes, and they'll do a great job, and it'll be a lot of fun.
Have they been testing out any questions on you?
No, but like I'm sure they have their stuff together, and I'm sure they have more than enough questions they can ask.
Right.
If they need any weird things, I got them covered on weird art and culture in Ohio. I'm there.
Yes.
I'm there. Here's a quiz at Liberty. Does anybody know the Ohio artists that we have in our children's room on some of the chairs?
I do.
I don't.
His first name is Charlie
And his last name is?
Harper.
Charlie Harper, one of my
Is he a local
favorites.
artist?
He's from Cincinnati, so
okay.
he's an Ohio artist.
Okay.
Does a lot of mid-century sort of prints of animals and different things like that. So if you've never seen Charlie, pop into Liberty's Children. Look on a few of their chairs.
It's really cool art too. The quintessential part of his art that you'll see is that it's the cardinal. It's like a cute little ovally, triangle-y cardinal.
I
and
keep
it's
seeing
adorable.
these earrings that I want that are his little cardinal.
Oh.
Kiana, talk about the return of the writing group at the Orange Branch.
So we've started doing that later last year. It's now become a repeat program. So it happens about every month, maybe every couple of months. It's led by our staff member, Kate. She does an awesome job. But basically, you can come and bring like your writing with you. And then what'll happen is that you'll have a separate time to like write with everyone else. In the room. And I know a lot of like writers like having that space to like work with other people similar to them and what they do, and it inspires them in a lot of different ways.
I think they build in a little time for workshopping too.
They
Like
do,
if you want to like read a paragraph out loud and kind of like, workshop it in the room.
Yes, and that is the second part of it. So like after you have time to write, then you'll be able to share out what you actually wrote to everyone, and they'll be able to give their opinion on it, give you some feedback. So it's a really great place to come to, like if you need inspiration or if you want feedback on your work, and just if you just want a place to like be at peace and write.
Right.
I love that.
That can be hard to
I
find
love that.
sometimes. Yes.
I definitely
Yes.
think that can be really helpful. I want to get to, because I don't want to miss it. This one's coming up on Saturday, May 30th. You can find all of these DelawareLibrary.org/event. And or just go to our events tab or download our app and click on our events that way. You can search it all that way. But Saturday, May 30th, 2:00. This is always a really popular program. It's Book Buzz, but it's a romance book talk theme for this month.
Yes. And for this one, we're not reading a particular title or anything, so you don't have to do that before you come in. It's you can just bring your, recent reads with you and share that out with everyone.
I love that.
Nice.
So it can be romantasy, it can be straight romance.
Right.
It's really exciting. I know romance is a really popular genre nowadays.
With varying levels of spiciness,
Yeah.
as we've learned.
Very different like relationship dynamics that go on these books.
Yeah.
So it's all very interesting.
Right.
And so like we just want to have that space for people to be able to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot out there.
Right.
And it's a good place to also get book recommendations.
Right.
So like if you don't know what to read next, there can be a person that can have a really good book
That's
that they're
right.
currently reading, and maybe you want to read that one.
You'll find your conversations really
the
just blossom.
Yes.
Early 2000s, I used to wear a button that said romance reader friendly because people were so nervous to ask for a romance book from a librarian. So just know our entire staff is romance reader friendly. Nobody
Yes,
will
we
ever
are.
judge you. Most of us are reading
No.
romance ourselves.
That's right.
And did you know romance is like I think the most popular genre right now?
Oh, I
Or
believe it.
romantasy.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I went to PLA a few years ago, and I went to a panel that actually talked about like romance books and like the stigma around it. And the first thing she said was that it's the most popular genre. I'm not sure if that's still the case, but it was in 2024.
There we go.
You know,
Yes.
Bridgerton and Outlander.
Yes.
Which are their
Yes.
own genres, and I would
Yes.
never read those because I prefer contemporary romance,
yes.
and so
Yeah.
it is like
Interesting.
very particular.
Diana
feels.
Gabaldon
Yes.
hates when Outlander is called romance, but I definitely think it does fit a little bit
Yeah.
into that genre.
It
So,
does. It does, definitely.
Well, there are some ongoing programs at Orange that I don't want to miss out on just because they happen all the time.
And they're great ones.
We have English speakers of English for speakers of other languages. ESOL is our shortened version of it at Orange, and it's really wonderful. Can you talk a little bit about our ESOL classes at Orange?
Yeah, so they happen every Monday and Wednesday. Sometimes, like, if there's a holiday or something, then it is canceled. But for the most part, it happens twice a week. It's with Aspire.
Yeah.
So we have a really good instructor that comes in. Her name is Sarah. Sometimes we have other instructors too. And you can come. You will need to actually register before you can actually attend a class.
Yep, first-timers.
And you need to
Yes.
register with Aspire. You can register on their website, or if you call us, we can tell you how to register. We can give you the phone number you can call to get registered as well.
Yeah.
Once you're registered, then you'll actually get permission to come to the class. That may take a couple of weeks. So if you're really interested in doing a class, then
Register now.
Yeah, register now, exactly. But they're really great. It's really for people that have English as a second language and they want to like learn more and different ways to communicate in English and everything like that. Vocabulary, they go over all of that. So it's really great.
And it doesn't matter what your native language is.
No.
So whether your native language is, Spanish or anything else,
Yes.
then you can still come to the class because it's all about English language immersion during that class.
Exactly. And they'll work with you no matter what your language is.
I want to also talk about, this is really popular, but it's very, very niche. It's an Alzheimer caregiver support group, but specifically for male caregivers, given by the Alzheimer Association.
Yes, and in this program, we have it. It's usually once a month, but they're a continued partner with us, and it's a really great place to come and have conversations.
Yeah.
And they do really good with working with you. If you have Alzheimer's, you can come. If you're someone that, takes care of someone that has Alzheimer's too, you can come as well. So a lot of different people enjoy coming to this. And we don't refuse anyone, right?
Right,
So
sure.
even if you're like a woman or something, they're not going to say leave.
Or you want to come, with your husband who is a
Yes,
caregiver for maybe an
exactly.
aging parent.
Yeah.
Exactly. So feel free to come no matter who you are. It might be geared towards men, but they're not going to refuse you at the door. But it's a really great program.
It is really wonderful, and,
Yes.
and it's kind of, I think it's the only one of its kind from when I've talked to our friends at the Alzheimer's Association that really does gear towards men who are taking care of their friends and family with Alzheimer's. Yeah. Anything else that I missed on that you wanted to talk about? Well, the big thing, May 14th. Let's talk about that. We've got a couple minutes left, or a minute left.
Yes. So it's the library's anniversary at Orange Branch, the 15th birthday.
15 years. Yes.
So we do have a program that day. Actually, we have the writing group program.
That's right.
So that's taking place at 6:30 p.m. So there's a program that day. But we also are going to have like different giveaways. So if you come for children and adults, we have different things like bookmarks. We're going to have like book themed keychains. We're going to have stickers.
Got some stickers coming.
And so we really want to welcome people in for our birthday. And please come. And, you know, if you just want to come that day just to visit, you can as well. I promise it won't be too loud in there or anything like that. So, you know, feel free to come on that day. It'll be a great time.
Cheers to 15 years for the Orange Branch Library.
Yes.
It is hard to believe that it has been in the community
for
this long.
By that beautiful cheers to 15 years.
15 years. Yeah, maybe we'll have to have a toast. Maybe we'll have an apple juice toast.
We're actually
Or
quite
an
young.
orange juice.
Yeah. Right, exactly. You are only 15.
Yes.
So yeah, we're gonna have like a Mountain Dew
We're
toast.
a teenager right now. Yes.
Well, Kiana, it has been wonderful. We powered through a whole lot. So if there's anything that you missed, DelawareLibrary.org, go over to our events tab and see everything that's happening, or just subscribe. We have newsletters that come out every week and tell you all the things happening at our library. It has been a pleasure having you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
We're going to have you back again soon. You did great.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Molly.
Thank you, Nicole.
And Mark, until next time.
Absolutely.
We'll see you in the stacks.